comments I've heard. The fact that you say, no, you're a backup quarterback, stay in your place, that's an issue. I mean, to me, you're telling me that my position as a backup quarterback and being quiet is more important than people's lives. No, I would ask him to really have a conversation with the families of people that have been murdered and see if he still feels that way. Because I bet you he doesn't, just because he hasn't experienced that type of oppression. That's something that I hope he goes home and really thinks about what he said and how it impacts not just me, but how it impacts people whose lives are affected by these issues. Ridiculous comment.
That was Colin Kaepernick talking about Clint Dilfer uh, off of ESPN. He's an analyst. And he was just basically telling, Clint, it was a pretty dumb thing for you to say. He's basically telling Colin Kaepernick, because Colin Kaepernick is a backup quarterback right now, which is not a big deal. Hell, Tom Brady was a backup quarterback to Drew Bledsoe. I mean, so what? You know. But nonetheless, he was saying you're a backup quarterback. You shouldn't be saying anything. Like what? Even if the guy was sitting the bench and was the fourth string quarterback, he's still a human being who is allowed to peacefully protest what he feel is not right. That's called being an American. It's the freedom of America. These these people who uh, like what's really crazy? The backlash of people who speaking out against Colin Kaepernick is causing more people to be on Colin Kaepernick's side. Let's get this straight. Colin Kaepernick's jersey is sold out all over the US. It's sold out. You can't go and buy an original Colin Kaepernick jersey. It's sold out. This man is talking about putting $1 million into, what he believes in. Like, people, like Colin Kaepernick is the real deal when it comes to protesting. He's doing it the right way. The only reason why these people are getting even halfway upset is because he's doing it on social media. Social media has gotten a hold of this. And when social media gets a hold of something, the news or whoever, they always want to go up against it or whatever, what have you, because it's all revenue. It gets more people watching their station, their channel. So they come out with all kind of goofy stuff like Tommy Loren, and who's just nothing but a media whore to me. She has nothing concrete to say. Nothing whatsoever. She just jumps over whoever's trending because she wants to be the blonde haired chick on Fox. So I'm just saying, like, when I first saw Colin Kaepernick do this, I was like, okay, another person, you know, protesting against the flag, no big deal. But now, see, back in what was it, the 80s, 70s or 80s, when the Olympics was, when all three brothers put their fist up, they was protesting against what was happening to black people. The difference now is not only is social media driving everything, it keeps driving it. It keeps trending it. And, when Martin Luther King marched, in Selma, and all those people got burned, beat up, raped by these white people, the reason why the president at that time sent in the National Guard is because of television. People around the world saw what Americans were doing to black people, were doing to other Americans. And when they saw this, they were like, why are you letting this happen to black people? You know what I'm saying? So it's all media. It's all media driven. And that's the power of media. That's the power of one person who plays for the NFL and how big of a splash that he can make. And now you got more people coming out for, like Jesse the Body Ventura. He's like, look, I'm all about peaceful protest. And some people think Jesse the Body Ventura is just a big mouth. I'm like, for one, Jesse the Body Ventura was in UDT. He was a Navy SEAL. Before the Navy SEALs were called Navy SEAL, they were underwater demolition technicians. They were Navy SEALs. Like this dude was a badass, a long time ago, and he still is. So, when people just, talk about people like him, I'm like, you guys need to do your history because that dude was kicking ass a long time ago. Okay, so cut that out. But he came out and he was like, I don't have to agree with Colin Kaepernick. I'm for peaceful protest. He's like, this is what I fought for. And that's what I'm about. I may not agree with Colin Kaepernick, and actually, I kind of do. But even if I did or didn't, it doesn't matter. It's peaceful protest. That's what America's all about. It's just astounding how, people just get on their high horse just because they want to be on social media so bad and just start dogging out somebody who does nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong. I'm like, what about the Boston Tea Party? Was that un-American? Remember that? Boston Tea Party? Anybody remember that? Okay, because Boston Tea Party, a bunch of people dressed up like Indians and went and dumped all the tea, into the Boston Harbor. I'm like, you know what they were doing? They were protesting people. Okay, so, and then they were racist as hell when they did it because they dressed up as Indians. It's like, yeah, Indians do this. There's a bunch of white people who dressed up as Indians. I'm like, Indians was just sitting there like, you bastards, like we had nothing to do with that. Now you're gonna come out and kill a bunch of us like they did in Wounded Knee, and then killed a bunch of Indians. But no, I'm just saying, people been protesting against America for the longest time. And I don't mean to stay on the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, but every time I see somebody just say something against what he's doing and saying that he's un-American, and now you're telling a man that he should be quiet because he's a second string quarterback. That just, it adds fuel to the fire. It adds fuel to his fire. I mean, look, let's think about it like this. I don't know if he's getting any revenue off of his shirts. I'm sure he gets something off of it. But every time one of these goofballs speak up, they make Colin Kaepernick more money. Just think about it like that. If he gets a percentage of his shirt being sold, his shirt is sold out nationwide. That's it. Think about that. You're just helping him out. So I don't know. I'm all about, and I just keep saying this. I'm all about peaceful protest, and I just wish somebody would just, you know what? I guess it has to happen. You can't stop these people from being an antagonist. You can't stop them from doing it. I guess it has to happen, but it still just gets under my skin because some of these people, they never served a day in life in the military, but they always want to talk about the freedoms that they fought for. And I'm looking at them like this. You fought where? What war did you sign up for? What war were you in? What war ribbon do you have? What campaign were you in where you fought for freedom? The freedoms of America that I fought for. I'm like, when did you fight? You didn't do a day in the military. A lot of these people fight behind a desk. That's their fighting. They have no idea what battle dress uniforms is. They don't. They think the AR-15 was made for the street. They don't. They have no idea. They have no idea how what the weapon was made for. They have no idea what battle dress uniforms are made for. They have no idea that some of them probably can't even march in a straight line. And they've never done a day in the military, but they're always talking about the freedoms that they died for, their freedoms. It's like you didn't sign up for nothing. I say get off of Colin Kaepernick's back. The man's doing his thing. And to Trent Dilfer, just shut the hell up. I'm out.